This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.
Rob, what's good, homie?
Yo, we've been off the air for almost 2 full weeks. I honestly think that's been the longest we might have been off from doing the show for a while, because usually we'll take off a week and then we'll come back.
I feel like holidays, right before the PWBA tour starts up. Usually, we're good for a 2-week break. No.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, it's one of those things though. Like it seems like when we're not talking about bowling for 2 weeks, like all of these like kind of weird stories and links start coming sent to us, and then we're playing catch up, right? For 2 weeks, it feels that way, in a sense.
Nico apologizing. I guess he's saying that his full attention won't be on the show tonight. PWBA is on. We're aware, and they keep saying it. I'm gonna get into it right away, bro. Nico, you're gonna get me started on my nonsense right away, bro. They keep saying it on the TV. Largest crowd for a PWBA show ever. Largest crowd. Now, here's what they're not saying. Okay? Here's what they're not saying. They're not saying that the reason it's the largest crowd in this arena setting is because the USBC held the opening ceremonies and athlete walk for Junior Gold in the same venue where this PWBA show is, right? So the point was, you go to the opening ceremonies and the athlete walk, and then you stay to watch the PWBA show for free. For free, by the way, getting to see live bowling show for free. Okay, that's cool. All right. But I don't know, somewhat disingenuous if you ask me, to set that up and then promote it as like, the largest crowd ever. Just so happens, we have 4,000 youth bowlers in town, and we had the opening ceremonies here.
But I feel like you're being a little hypocritical here, because a few weeks ago you were talking about how the PBA needs to create other events to get people to watch bowling, and this is exactly what the USBC did. So
No, I didn't say other events. I said they need to give people other reasons than just the bowling to come to a bowling event. Okay.
Well, this is what they did.
This is a little bit like, I don't know. This is a little bit sold a false bill of goods here, I feel like.
I don't know.
You show up because it's the opening ceremonies for this huge tournament that your kid prestigiously, let's not forget, qualified for, okay? And you show up, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, stay here for the next 2.5 hours for the show as well." And I already saw on Facebook a lot of people were like, "Peace, Rob. I'm out. I ain't staying for the PWBA show. I'm going for the opening ceremonies only."
Why wouldn't you stay though if you're there for Junior Gold and you have an opportunity to watch the best women in the world?
I actually screenshotted a post. I just took a screenshot of it a few minutes ago. If you hold on, I can bring it up real quick.
I think it's a smart idea.
Here we go.
Yeah.
As a first timer, and this is someone talking about how they didn't like the opening ceremonies. Okay, people are on Facebook complaining.
Oh my God.
But I'm going to fast forward through some of this. But my biggest complaint was the communication for this event. We got there early, and once we got our bearings and understood how everything was going to flow, it was honestly fine. We did not want to stay for the PWBA. Our bowling daughter has no interest, and our 3-year-old barely made it through the athlete walk. And I'm just like, I read that and I'm just like, if your bowling daughter has no interest in the PWBA, then I have a suggestion for you. Maybe not plan your entire summer vacation around junior gold in a bowling tournament. Oh,
I imagine, and I'm just thinking about it when we were in juniors, okay? 15, 16 years old, you go into bowl JOG, you're off from school, it's a week of bowling, you're seeing all your friends, you're seeing everybody that they have an opening ceremony with all the athletes, and then you get to stay for free and watch the PBA or PWBA bowl in an arena.
All about it.
Dude, our crew, we would have been in the front row.
Oh, no doubt. We would have been.
It would have been amazing.
The camera would have been all over us, no question.
And I think it's a great idea what the USBC is doing. I mean, yes, you're talking about more of what they're saying when it comes to the crowd being the largest, but look, they're hype men, man. I mean, that's what it is.
I hear you.
They want to make it, a big deal, and they have to make it a big deal because they spent a lot of money probably doing all of this.
I know, but why? But don't try and disguise it. Just put it out there. Just say, "Hey, largest crowd ever," because national youth tournaments in town. We're going to decide the national youth champions this week. That's why a lot of these kids and families are here. Here's a little preview of what you're going to see. They could have mixed it in with the show or something.
You don't like it because it's JOG related.
Genuine. No, I don't like it because it's not genuine. It's not genuine. Like, just keep it 100. Okay, just keep it 100.
Oh my goodness, I just think it's a good idea, and I'm excited for those younger kids who maybe have never seen a live bowling event, especially in an arena setting. My only biggest beef with this whole thing is the fact that I don't get CBS Sports. I can't watch it.
It was good too. I'll be honest, I didn't want to turn it off to come do the pod.
Yeah.
It was like, it was a little hype. I mean, the crowd was, pretty much into it. And the first match featured a Swedish two-hander or Finnish two-hander.
She throws it good.
Right? She throws it real good. Yeah, she didn't throw good. She didn't throw good in the 9th and 10th, I can tell you that.
First show, though, in an arena?
210 to lose, but...
Oh.
Yeah.
First show, though, nerves, right? I mean, in an arena setting on top of it, in front of the biggest crowd ever in the history of the PWBA. I mean, you're going to get a little nervous. I mean, it's a crazy show to make as your first show.
No, but I mean, here's the other thought that crossed my mind. And we think in a little bit different terms around here. This was a money saving. this was a money saving move by the USBC. I'm sorry. Oh, it was. I'm sorry.
You can't help yourself. You hate JOG so much.
I can't even say it. It was a Hawk money saving move, bro. That's what this was. It was like, let's have the opening ceremonies at the show in the same place.
Oh my goodness, we gotta stop. The show's off the rails already. It's off the rails. We should just stop.
No, I am not okay, Nico. I am not okay.
I think we're gonna pull up some comments here while you're self-composed. National Bowler says, I think honestly badass that the USBC is footing the bill for it. Mike, don't get me wrong for some of your points of value, but some of these kids idolize these bowlers. What's wrong with this setting? There's absolutely nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong with it. I love it. I just said I love it. National, I love it. Just be genuine about it. Just be like, yo, we're trying to save a buck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
crowd here already. Like,
yeah,
cheers,
could you imagine,
had a good show. You know?
Could you imagine Kelly broadcasting being like, yeah, they're just trying to save money, so this arena setting is just a cost saving idea for the USBC. Could you imagine? They would fire her mid commentary.
Yes, Dave, we just wrapped up the opening ceremonies for our largest junior tournament in the country, and now transition right into this show.
Jesus. Anyway, okay, I'm glad we got that over with, but I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more JOG as the show goes on, because I know you have been hounding, I would imagine, the social media posts for Junior Gold Parents Parent Watch. That's what I'm calling it, JOG Parent Watch. So real quick, you've had let's hear about your league review, please. For the love of this show, the love of the bowling gods, please tell me that you're at least breaking 600 at this point.
All right, I got my act together.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I found the right ball.
Did you listen to my advice?
No, I did, but then that worked for a game, right? The bigger, duller piece worked for a game, worked for game one, but then it stopped carrying.
Yeah, it starts hooking early, right?
Like it stops. Yeah, and then I went to an older pin down game breaker 4 Pearl.
Smoother.
Yeah, and that's it. So 2 weeks ago I shot 690, going bigger, duller ball first game and few frames, then switched to the game breaker 4. This past week I came in and went game breaker 4 from the jump. And if you give me, I mean, I'm a hack, so I missed 2 single pin spares, I think a 6 pin and a 10 pin, and I threw it out the window a couple times. Once on the front 8, I went front 8 game 2 or game 3, and threw it out the window, missed the head pin, and then missed the spare. So if you give me back about 4 frames, I might have shot about 840. But I shot like 710, 715, something like that.
Are the people that were asking your was it your friend about, I thought Mike was good, are they finally realizing that you're actually better than you've been bowling?
No, I don't.
No, they still think you're a hack.
I think I have to. I think if I would have closed out the 300 game, I mean, predictably, they probably would have been like, "Oh wow, okay, now I see." Yeah. Oh, national. I know, bro.
Throwing it out the window on China. I was gonna ask. I didn't know that was possible on China.
So bad, bro. Like that's how bad I threw it. That's what I'm saying. Like it was that bad. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
And I don't ever. As a matter of fact, I laugh. I get much comedy out of hearing the excuses that some people have while they're bowling, when they're done bowling, etc. And I don't make excuses, but I was somewhat distracted at times during this past league session. I won't get too deep into it, but let's just say there's a lot going on in the Bolero that we're bowling in. That we're bowling in right now. It's an interesting environment in there right now when we're there bowling.
Yo, do you remember? Do you remember when we were younger? They used to sell these towels and shirts. It was like
bowler's excuse towel. Yeah,
the bowler's excuse towel. I feel like that is still relevant today. The bowler excuse towel, but I think they could do an updated version of it.
Might be more relevant than ever. A couple weeks ago, I had a guy who's averaging like 230 in our league. I guess I don't know why he chooses to call me down, but we were bowling sort of next to each other, and it was like the first week that I shot 700, and he was bowling next to me, and he had a terrible night, just wasn't bowling good, and he calls me down after he's done bowling. He like gives me the wave, and I walk down. He's like, really, really tough to bowl and bowl well with all these open bowlers next to you, to my left here.
There it is.
Just like,
there it is. He had to let you know because
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he was pissed that he bowled bad, and he thought you were going to go talk about it on the show.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that, but
he's all about it.
So yeah, it might be more prevalent than ever, quite frankly. So I hate to make excuses, but yeah, I don't. You have to be there. I guess it's one of those things where you have to be there and see it. There's just a lot going on while we're bowling. There's just a lot of distractions, is the way that I'll put it. Bolero is quite the circus, bro. Depending on where you're at, what center you're in, and obviously we've talked about who the manager of the center is, etc. But I can say that this particular Bolero is mostly run by teenagers, and it's messy. It's messy. I'll say that. So
I mean, Bolero is really, you're kind of stuck with the people who are running the local Bolero in your area. Like I've heard from people who say nothing but really great things about their Bolero centers. And then there are other people that say horrendous things. And then there's your own personal experiences, right? So it's kind of just, you kind of are just, it's like a franchisee. Like some franchisees restaurants are better than others because it's owned separately, run and owned. But okay, well, we'll keep.
Yeah, that's my league report. I'm on cruise control at this point. I'm not bowling this Tuesday because I have some other stuff going on. I have some family stuff going on, but I feel like I'm on cruise control. I feel like next time I walk in there, I should be able to strike pretty easily. National giving me a hard time, saying making excuses like a patch pirate. Give me 4 more frames for 800. No, I really meant a couple mulligans, and I really said that to outline how good the look was that I had. Like I should have bowled that good had I not been so hacky and thrown it so bad in those particular instances. Yes.
This must be National Bowler's first Big Mike's League review because that's essentially every Big Mike's League review.
Right.
Yeah. Every Big Mike's League review is Mike was 3 spares away from shooting 750 or 4 bad shots away from shooting 800 or
on the easy stuff. Yes.
Yeah. Even the sport, when you were doing the sport reviews, you were 3 spares away from 650. You were 4 bad shots away from shooting 600.
No, I don't feel like I said that nearly as much. And I will also comment that I feel like isn't that the experience of and this is going to be a good transition into our next subject here. But isn't that's a great comment. Someone wants to know if I'm actually Mr. X. No, I'm not. But I feel as though what I say is a very common experience for the people bowling regularly on the house stuff. I think there's probably a ton of people that go out and bowl week after week or most weeks and feel like, oh, I was a few shots away from, bowling a big number.
My experience with house shots personally is it really depends on if I'm carrying that night. If my ball is facing up the right way,
right,
I'll average 750, pretty much 700, 750 on a house shot. But then there's times when you bowl on a Bolero house shot where they're piling the oil in the middle of the lane surface stinks, and then the outsides of the lane are so freaking dry that you have so much over and under that you just can't do anything. Like you said, like you struggled in those first few weeks. I had that same experience when I bowled Bolero Mesa for the first half of the year. And then I finally, as a good bowler should, figure it out as you bowl every week on what to use, when to switch. And then all of a sudden you start seeing yourself bowl consistently 700s the rest of the way out. And then you pop an honor score here and there. Right. But then there's some house shots I've bowled on where it didn't matter what ball, where I stood, like didn't matter. I could have kicked the ball down the lane and averaged over 230. Like it's just a matter of what bowling center you bowl and what the lane surface is and what lane oil machine you're using too on top of that.
Okay, fair enough. To transition, but I guess talk more house shot bowling.
Breaking news, Mike.
Yeah, well, I already broke the news.
I know, but the national attendance, Robert Hamilton. What's up, Rob, man? 6,559 people in attendance. It's big, man. Big for PWBA. Let's see if that carries on to the next show.
Yeah, the Savannah Bananas are selling out Yankee Stadium.
Yo, the Savannah Bananas? What a business that is, bro.
Savannah Bananas.
Bowling needs the Savannah Bowlers. I'm telling you, the owner of that business, dude, his sole owner is going to be a billionaire if he keeps what he's doing. I
don't understand what the attraction is to that. Can you explain?
It's just they're taking a sport that is notoriously baseball slower, a little bit boring to a lot of people, right? And they're turning it into a WWE type atmosphere where they're purely there for the entertainment of the customer. They're dancing, they're showboating. Think Harlem Globetrotters for baseball. Exactly, Robert Hamilton. The same freaking time he commented, think the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. It's a very interesting business, and it's doing very well. And everybody that I've ever went or known that has went when it's come into my area has said nothing but amazing experience going there. And I guess the prices are reasonable. It's very kid friendly. There's dancing. There's a pitcher who pitches on stilts. They're catching behind the back. They're doing tricks. Mike.
Sounds faddish to me.
Maybe, but the owner seems to have a good pulse on what's going on. And they do, and they sell it everywhere. We'll see. We'll see if it lasts. I mean, yeah, it could be just a couple year deal thing where people just get tired of it. I think they're good. The hard part of being in that industry, in my opinion, and I'm not like a Vince McMahon or whoever the owner's name is, I forgot, is keeping the attraction and keeping the appeal, right? Like, you don't want it to be like a shiny new toy where everybody is like all about it, and then in 5 years nobody's going. So bowling, though, I mean, they could use a jump start, something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
it's funny you commented about the dude Kasuf from the World Series of Poker this week, saying that bowling needs a Kasuf. I mean, that dude, he was way over the line, bro. He was way.
He's awesome though for poker. He's awesome for poker.
And I'm going to explain why.
No, we're going to fight on this
because he just, you have to be able to turn it on and off a little bit. Okay, you can't constantly 100%. But like, after they come over and suspend you, you have to walk away and take your suspension. Like, you can't stand there still and rant. Like, okay, like, it's over. They suspended you. Go take your suspension. Walk away. He got knocked out of the tournament. He made a big scene when he got knocked out of the tournament. Told all the guys, "Oh, the next time I see you," like, this is corny. Like, you got knocked out. Like, switch it off. I understand that you're doing it for a competitive edge. I like that. Switch it off, shake the guy's hand, say good game, and get out of there, and walk out. Like,
okay,
I just don't. Yeah,
I agree with you, but I agree with you in the sense that yes, like, you have to like turn it off. Even like Mike Matusow and Phil Hellmuth would turn it off, right? Yes. And they weren't even to that point, right?
Right.
But the point is that nobody's talking about anything that's going on at the World Series of Poker.
Right. You don't know anybody else's name. You don't know who's doing what, but you know about this guy who was. I mean, I listen, during the game. I understand what he's doing. Okay?
So let's translate this to bowling
strategy.
Okay,
I would translate it to someone having the gamesmanship of Norm Duke, but doing it all the time and being ultra vocal about it, like not hiding it at all. Like, it would be like if somebody during a show was like, "Oh, timeout. I got to retie my shoe. I'm now going to retie my," and literally they'd be saying these words. If you're not familiar with poker, I'm going to retie my shoe. And while I retie my shoe, I want to remind you, opponent, that I am going to destroy you here. And I'm going to get up on this next shot and strike. And you are going to get up on your next shot and you are going to miss. You might even throw a gutter ball. People might boo you and leave here. As you're tying your shoe, you're saying this, and you get done tying your shoe and you go and you take your shot. Right? See, that's what it would be like. It would be like
Ernie Schlegel,
re-rack, right? Can I get a re-rack? And then you stand there and tell your opponent, "I'm re-racking," just to give you more time to think about the bad shot you're about to throw, because you're going to
think Ernie Schlegel, after Randy left that Stone 8, Think about him just all game. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. Bowling, even after the game, obviously you have to let your opponent. You can't be talking while your opponent is bowling, whatever. But think about it all game. Wow, what a terrible shot. Someone leaves a split. Wow, that was awful. Wait till I get up. I'm going to strike, and you can't do nothing.
That's another good way to describe it. It would be like if one of the players did their own running commentary through the whole match of all the shots their opponent was throwing. Right.
But was good. Like, could you imagine if someone was doing that, but was winning? Imagine EJ Tackett or Anthony Simonson just running their mouth all game, but you couldn't beat them, or you were that good, right? And Pete Weber did that. He did it, right? But not to that level of Kasuf does it at the World Series. This guy is on it. If you haven't watched this guy, and I'm pleading to anybody who's listening, anybody who's watching right now, go on Twitter, pull this guy up. You're going to find him in 2 seconds, and go listen to this guy and the just ranting and raving this lunatic does during a hand that he's in. And he makes some unbelievable calls too on top of it. This guy's a player too. He's a pro, right? He's a really good poker player on top of it. Bowling needs somebody who people are just going to be like, oh my God, I hate this guy. And the fans would lose their freaking minds, Mike. They would hate this guy so bad. He would get just destroyed online. But guess what? People would want to watch him when he was on the show. When he was on the show, you'd be like, oh my God, this guy is on the show. He's good. What is he going to do? And that's what Pete Weber's famous quote is. Always his famous quote is, you're going to hate me, but you're going to watch me. Right. And that's what I felt like this guy could bring he could bring an entertainment level to bowling, and people will hate me for that take. I don't care. I really believe in it, but
okay. Doubt. All right. So to circle back now, because we got a little off track there, but to circle back to our house conditions conversation. People all over were sending me a video this week. Amazing to me that anyone listens to our nonsense that we do over here.
Still don't know.
But another bowling podcaster, and the space is awful crowded these days, I'll say. There's a lot of bowling podcasters out there, but Luke Rosedale, posted a video titled "Was Big Mike Right?" Okay, and I have to go back a little bit to explain the context here. Remember when I did the article for Jeff's website on why I hit house shots?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Luke was one of the guys who came at me after that article.
Admittedly, too.
Right, and did his own article in response to it. And, basically said I was wrong. And then more recently, he put out this new video basically questioning in the title. And then I would say, admitting in the bulk of the video, I did watch most of it, that I was right.
Well, I think the interesting part of his story was he talks about his friend, and his friend consistently bowls on sport and nothing else, and it was averaging like 175, and was watching
in another country,
and was watching.
He was unaware of this.
Unaware of it.
Unaware that they only bowled on sport there in this country, right? So he was having like an email back and forth with this person in another country, assuming that they're bowling on the same types of house shot conditions that we're bowling on, and the person's telling them that they're averaging 170, and they're really upset and they're getting frustrated and this and that. And then eventually he finds out that they're bowling on challenge and sport conditions, and he writes the person back and says, oh, well, actually, like 170 on challenge and sport conditions isn't that bad at all. And he realized how much of a drastic difference there is, right, between one side of the game and the other. I mean, among other things that he talked about in the video.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob.
And then he brought up Jillian Marin, who we've had on the show before, how she would just talk about how she never even bowled on a house growing up, and what that did. And the one thing also was talking about how like Luke watched him throw a ball and was like, yeah, like I don't know how this guy's averaging 175. He throws the ball really good, and then all of a sudden you realize like, wow, like people like all they see this guy who's trying to be better. He's bowling 170. He's averaging 175 on sport, and he's just looking at everybody posting their honor scores every week, and bowling 800 every week and 300 every week. And he was getting discouraged because he wasn't, and he didn't. I'm assuming that there was a lack of understanding from this gentleman who his friend was overseas, that everyone's bowling on a completely different easy level than what he's bowling on. So it was like, I think, a little bit of an eye-opening moment for Luke, and it was I appreciated it. I did like the fact that he said you were on your high horse or your soapbox. And I'm like, man, that's Big Mike every week, bro. The guy's always on his high box, his high horse.
Yeah. What's new about that?
But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go to Luke Rosedale. I want to say Rosdale's YouTube channel. It's a 15-minute video. I posted it, actually shared it on our Facebook page.
Listen, here's the most important thing. I'm right. Okay.
No,
I'm right.
I mean, I never want to say you're right. I say like you got a lot of good points, but anyway, yeah.
You'll come around one day too, Rob. And I don't care, Kevin. Okay? I don't care if I'm beating a dead horse. Okay? I don't care. It must be done. All right? Someone must beat this drum. And if it's got to be me, then it's got to be me. So be it.
The fight against the house shot continues. All right, Mike, what's next on the hit list? We got a lot of off the rail type. We got to talk about the drilling. We got to talk about the drilling competition.
World's fastest ball driller.
So
dude won a new drill press though.
Wait, but I'm bringing this up. At least I'm not putting it on the screen, but this is all stemmed from a post on a Radical Bowling fans Facebook page, where somebody is running a world's fastest bowl driller competition, Bowl Expo 2025, sponsored by IBPSIA and Innovative Bowling Products. One more qualifying squad today. So there's actually a fastest driller competition. I'm going to assume that you still have to hit the lines, right? Like you still have to be close to hitting the lines that are on the ball. I'd imagine there's a lot of requirements, because even I could enter that if I don't have to hit the lines. I mean, I'll just be punching a hole in the ball and just moving on. So it'll
be one of those Sports Authority drillings that you used to see back in the day, where people would come in, their hand would be crippled from bowling with the Sports Authority ball. That used to be one of my favorite things in the pro shop back in the day. Like, there were a lot of funny things about hanging in the pro shop back in the day, but one of the best was when someone would come in with one of those Sports Authority drilled balls. And it was like, oh my God, the fingers would be going like this. This is how they'd be putting the fingers in with the pitches and what.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. So anybody can do that kind of drill. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got us thinking, what other events can you run that might actually probably be more entertaining than actually what the product right now of a regular bowling show would be? Right.
Wait, are you insinuating that doing things in bowling is more entertaining than the bowling itself?
I mean, I think a bowling ball drilling competition would actually be appealing if you put it on TV. I think people would stop a little bit and be like, wait, what is going on? And I think people would be more appealing to bowling. But I think
you're probably right. I mean, I've been watching a lot of ESPN news this summer so far, and they're showing some interesting stuff up on there, man. Let me tell you. Yeah. And I thought to myself when you sent me this, I said, "Oh yeah, I could picture this on ESPN news." fastest ball driller competition.
I've come up with a couple of events that I think they could actually run on top of the fastest bowling ball drilling competition. Okay.
Okay.
My first competition would be, imagine having like the front desk people do recover dead wood for time. Okay, now picture just like you have two front desk people standing at the same spot in front of the cash register, and there's a dead wood on each lane, and you hit a button, and then you have to get the dead wood, make sure it clears completely under the setter, and then run back and then hit the button. Okay, imagine them like on the little, but you can't fall off the ball path either. You know where the ball, like where they're walking.
Okay, so who are you saying is going to be doing that? Is that the front desk guy or is that a mechanic?
The front desk guy.
All right, well then we need to just have the front desk Olympics.
The front desk Olympics.
Front desk Olympics, like
Okay.
dead wood, right? Shoe spray. How many pairs of shoes can you do in a certain amount of time? Get them into the right slots. Okay.
Yeah. Some of the other ones were mixed. They were a mix of some more pro shop games. I think matching the ball plug to the bowling ball cover color would be a competition, right?
That's more artsy, though, right?
You're
not timing that. That's more of like something that's going to be judged.
It's a skill, though. Matching the ball color is a very hard thing to do when you're in the pro shop. When you're trying to get the color completely right, and you have to mix certain colors. It's a very artsy. It's a very skilled way of doing something in the pro shop.
I would say no switch grip, right? No switch grip. Drill two thumbs. Who's the best at drilling two identical thumbs? And you know who the judge is on that? It's Norm Duke. Norm Duke. Norm Duke comes in and he puts thumb in the balls and he decides. It would be like a dog judging competition. You know, where the judge walks around the dogs and like looks, and that's what Norm would do. He'd walk around the balls and he would put his thumb in all the balls, and he would be like, thumb in this one, thumb in that one, thumb in that one, thumb in this one, back to that one, back to this one. We have a winner right here. He would be the judge.
Here's my next one: a manual scoring competition, where I give you a game. Let's just say 236, and you have to literally fill in from the first frame to the 10th frame and get the math correct to hit 236. Okay. The Bolero Open is what I'm calling this competition. Bowling a heads-up match for a lot of money, bowling next to a birthday party and global. And I'm talking like kindergarten kids. I'm not talking like 8-year-olds. I'm talking like dinosaur ramps, parents taking pictures of their kids in front of you, like all kinds of Bolero debauchery when you're trying to practice. And on top of that, the Bolero Open would shut down the air conditioning in the bowling center.
You're describing my Tuesday night league right now, by the way. No air conditioning. Most of the house is glow bowl. Open bowlers all over the place. Music blaring.
No tables, no air conditioning, and putting shit on the approaches. Hot dog buns and all kinds of crap all across the approaches. Can't slide. You slide too much in one area. You're bowling. You're sticking on another part of the area next to a birthday party. No air conditioning, but you're bowling a big match. I'm talking like a $5,000 match against somebody with all this like going on, right? The Bolero Open. Kevin Herbert in the chat says a random automatic scoring system, a breakdown, right? Some stuff like the Peterson in a way, right? But this would be competition. And then my last competition would be eating a burger and fries with your bowling hand, and you have to bowl that with that hand in a match. So that would be my other match. So I think we could put together a whole competition here with all these events, call it the Sweep the Rack Games, and I bet you it would probably be it would be like the Savannah Bananas, but it would be like Sweep the Rack. There'd be music, and we could get Dougie to host it.
I'm out on that. I'll be honest. I'm out on that.
Anyway, all right, Mike. What's next on the hit list?
Well, I guess good transition into our wrapping up with worst of the week and whatnot. But well, should I? Yeah, you know what? Go ahead. Let's give the people what they want. Go ahead.
We get into a quick worst. Well, it's going to be a little bit long. The worst
It
of the
is.
week.
It's going to be a little bit longer. Let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
Oh,
Rob knows what's coming. Rob Hamilton knows what's coming in the chat.
Oh well. Oh, I mean that's one direction we could go in. But the king of the patch pirates is actually lucky. He's lucky. He's gonna get somewhat of a pass tonight because it's content wise, it's one of the best weeks of the year.
Oh, it's JRG week.
Junior Gold week, Robert Hamilton. So our boy, the king of the patch pirates, is going to have to take a back seat. Although I will say, king of the patch pirates, a couple weeks ago, he was quitting. Now all of a sudden he's sponsored by Motive again, and he's back doing ball reviews. Motive Monday. Oh my God, best ball ever. Oh, I know. King of the patch pirates. Okay. There's so much worse to the week. There's so much worse to the week to do when it's Junior Gold week. The content that this tournament provides has just become a treasure trove.
Parent watch
for a week or two in the summer months when the bowling is slow. So
and would you say like 98% of the debauchery comes from the parents?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, let's be clear, right? And I everybody knows this is my opinion, so I don't think this is going to surprise anybody. But this tournament is a carnival. Okay, it's not a bowling tournament. It's a carnival. Okay, it's a bowling carnival. All right, it's what it is. Okay. Now,
tell me how you really feel, Mike.
At some point in the 2 weeks that the parents have to stay there to attend this carnival, does it actually boil itself down to a bowling tournament at some point? Yes, it does. It actually does become that. But when you start with 4,000 plus kids, carnival is more like it, right? So not a fan of how they do this. Not a fan, so that you all know, okay? Not a fan of like the USBC selling qualifying to Junior Gold as an accomplishment. Okay, I'm sorry, it's really not. It's like everybody who wants to make it makes it. Okay, but it does provide a lot of great content for us here at Sweep the Rack, especially for our worst of the week category here. Now, one thing I have to say is that I'm always on these Junior Gold Facebook pages, Junior Gold this, Junior Gold that. Well, one of them, in one of these pages, which is the Junior Gold 2025 chat room, okay, on Facebook, somebody created an AI. Somebody created an AI bot called Gold Guide, okay? And Gold Guide is an AI account who comes on and posts things that might be helpful as they relate to bowling Junior Gold. This is very interesting to me that somebody would create this. So one of the things that it posted was, what are some tips for improving bowling accuracy? Posted this a couple days ago. Now, I have bad news for you guys. If you need tips for bowling accuracy and you're headed to Junior Gold, you're probably not going to have a great experience. Okay? The AI should be aware of that. The AI doesn't even know that. All right? I'm gonna keep going here with some worst of the weeks, okay?
Hey, I missed that.
I'm not gonna give names here. I'm just gonna give topics here, okay? I'm not looking to flame anybody in particular. I just want to point out the silliness of some of this. Here's another post. Lying courtesy. Lying courtesy is key. Lying courtesy is key. Saw a lot of stepping up on people the past 1.5 days. Okay, this was posted during practice, I imagine, right? Then underneath that post, they posted a like a sign that says "Things I wish bowlers knew." Don't now. This is a national championship tournament. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, things I wish bowlers knew. Don't step onto the lane when it's not your turn. Rob, could you imagine going to bowl a national championship level tournament and another competitor steps on the lane while you're up there getting set up to throw a shot and they're stepping on the lane in the back playing the ball? Don't touch someone else's ball. Keep food and drinks away from the lanes. Don't throw the ball too hard if you can't control it. Don't coach unless someone asks. Be kind to beginners. Oh my goodness, what is going on? This has been posted numerous times. Please, please, please have your bowlers put on deodorant before coming to the lanes.
We could have used that at some of the kids we bowled against in JBT.
No doubt. No doubt.
That's a good rule, actually.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Probably more in adults too.
And then someone under that post actually put, "No, my kid is all natural. Too many chemicals in that stuff."
Oh my god! So they're fighting over if the kid's wearing deodorant now.
The parents are arguing in the chat about whether
kids should wear
deodorant or not. The thing about the one about lane courtesy had 123 comments. Okay, 123 comments, and some people were saying this was hilarious. Some people were saying, "Oh, yeah, yesterday my kid was at the practice session, and they would take their first shot, and the next competitor would just step up on the lane, and my kid would have to tell them, 'Hey, it's my second shot. I'm gonna go.'" People had to come on. People had to come. I know. People had to come on and explain, Rob, that in competitive bowling environments, you're not taking 2 practice shots in a row. You're only taking 1, and then you go. And then if you want to shoot the spare, you just say, "Hey, is it okay if I could shoot this spare?" Right? That used to happen to me all the time as a high school coach. Kids and other coaches would get outraged that they would go up, throw their first shot, let's say leave a 3-6-10, and my guy would jump up on the approach and throw a first shot at the 3-6-10. They'd be like, "Hey, that was my shot." I'd be like, no, like, you one shot here, one shot, and keep it moving. Let's go. Right?
I think it's depends. I think that whole argument, it really depends on where you bowl, because I've bowled all across the country in my like moving around the 100 times that I've moved, and I've noticed that some leagues that I've bowled, it's like that, where you take one shot and you move on. And then when you go to certain like cities and towns, like I went to Michigan, I lived there, and I noticed that in the league they would take 2 shots and they would take a full shot. So like it was actually better if I didn't strike in practice, because I wanted 2 shots. So I would like move on purpose to go through so I could get warmed up quicker.
Right.
And that's different across the country. And I guarantee you, if you ask people in the chat or ask people out there, I'd be curious, is it what, like, I'm talking like you're just your general league night where you guys bowl. When you're practicing, do you guys take full frames or do you guys take 1 shot? And then most likely the person behind you is re-racking, or are they actually shooting the spare? There's a whole lot of different things that go on in different parts of the country.
Okay. Oh, here's another one. Now, there's 4,000 people at this tournament,
I
right?
know, it's crazy.
Everybody has shoe covers, right? A lot of people probably have the same Dexter shoe covers that come with the Dexter shoes, right?
Sure.
Right?
Right.
4,000 people at the tournament. A lot of them are going to have those. Here's the post.
Oh no.
Squad 24, 18U at 7:40 at Rolling Thunder practice. Did anyone's kiddo pick up a Dexter shoe cover that did not belong to them? My son's was taken from next to his bag, hopefully by accident. Hopefully by accident?
It's
Man,
lost.
there's 4,000 people here, and probably 1,200 of them or more have the same shoe covers. Okay? He was on lane 21 and 22. He is upset and would appreciate it returned. Junior Gold Q&A, tips in chat. Anonymous member. Who should I go to if I need 6 balls drilled? Who should I go to if I need 6 balls drilled? My son is U15 and wanted to see if we can reach out to the pro shop owner ahead. What?
Why do you do it? 6 bowling balls before you even start the tournament?
What?
What is going on out there right now? It's carnival. I kind of understand now what you're saying.
People, so today, people were generally complaining about the opening ceremonies. They were complaining about the setup for it. They were complaining about the execution of it. And then somebody, there's always that guy. There's always Positive Pat who comes on to the face. Who comes on to the Facebook group. You're killing me, son. Who comes on to the Facebook group and he's like, hey, everyone, stop being so negative, okay? Let's be positive, all right? Too much negativity up in here. Let's bring
positive poll.
some positivity up in here, okay? And so somebody did that. I'm not even talking about that person. But here's another person responding to that, to that positivity post. Here's a response. Here's a comment to the positivity post. Are you ready? Absolutely. And remember, we are guests in the great state of Wisconsin. Some need to remember that. Feeling very grateful to even be here from Tennessee. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Oh, boy.
Oh, Positive Paul. Positive Paul wouldn't last 2 minutes watching this show. I'll tell you that much.
Oh.
Yo, Mike Worms in chat says we need a Positive Pat t-shirt.
And I think I'm going to wrap it up with this one. Maybe a general comment after this, but we'll wrap it up with this. Again, not giving you the people, just going on a Junior Gold Worst of the Week rant here early in the week, right? We haven't even gotten to the point of the week yet where the parents start posting about the lane conditions. That's my absolute favorite part of the week, right? But okay. Here's the post. They really should enforce dress code at practice sessions also. The extra short shorts and crop tops these girls are wearing are ridiculous. Some of them aren't much longer than regular underwear. Coaches are watching. I'm not going to lie. When it said coaches are watching, I thought of the coach from the college bowling thing who was sleeping with his player. And I was like, oh, yeah, coaches are definitely watching. Yeah,
that's
trying
so
to
gross.
say, who do I want to recruit?
That's gross.
Oh, Jesus.
Thankfully, I never really experienced the full like brunt like of JOG. JOG started the year I went adult.
Right.
It went I went adult in April or remember after the high school season. It was probably January, February. And
no, you didn't.
I didn't go the first year Reno.
You might have went adult then, but
Reno, you're right.
Didn't officially go adult
until
the
after
end of that summer.
It was the second year I went adult. The first year I didn't go to Reno.
No,
but we didn't even know what it was.
We all went adult. You went adult the same time I went adult. You went adult in September of 1998.
No, because I graduated high school in 99.
Oh, okay.
So I bowled my senior year of high school, so it was 99.
Okay.
JOG 98 was the first year, right? Reno?
Right.
Yeah, so went Reno Orlando was the first 2 years.
Yeah, I think you went to. There was also a JBT in Vegas the same time that they had the first junior gold, and
Nobody knew what it was.
To the you went to the JBT in Vegas.
But I went to watch the one in Orlando, and it was because I went with Alex Cavanero. We drove from Brooklyn. I remember that, and I went to watch, and it was actually pretty fun to go watch because there was actually really high competition. Like it wasn't like what you're saying.
Him and Bill made the top 16 that year.
Yeah, and there was but I think Nico brought up a comment, and I don't want to get into this now because we've had million episodes every year. I feel like the anniversary of JOG about why Mike thinks it's a carnival, and valid points where they have 4,000 kids. In reality, probably what would you say the percentage of those 4,000 to 5,000 kids actually should be there bowling, Mike? If you were to make an educated guess, what, like 25% of that 5,000 probably should actually be there?
Say
10%.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is for USBC, right? They bring it in. It's an event. It's not a bowling tournament. Let's just call it an event, right? Where they open it up to whoever wants to come. They're getting 5,000 entries, so they keep doing it, right? It's a money. They're probably bringing in a lot of money from it, but I'd imagine they spend a lot of money too. I think when we asked Chad Murphy about it, remember on the interview, like he
claimed that they don't make money.
He claimed they don't make money, but it's tough because I think a lot of the kids go there and they bowl really bad, and I would hope that these parents are not like discouraging their kids from quitting bowling after they go and get their teeth kicked in bowling on these sport patterns, when in reality they're bowling in their home house is all house shots. And I think that's really where the biggest disconnect is for a lot of these kids. But then you got kids like Jillian Martin, who used to bowl sponsored, right? And there's a lot of kids now that are 16, 17 years old that are sponsored, get bowling balls, bowl on sport shots. And the level of separation from those kids who are getting bowling balls, they're bowling on sport all their whole life. And these kids that are going there that have literally 2 bowling balls, they've never seen a sport shot in their lives, and they average 115. It's discouraging because they're going there thinking they actually have a chance, right, Mike? Does that sum it up in a way?
Well, I think also to me, like it was about the fact that at one time this was the most prestigious junior bowling tournament in the world, right? And I think that has now transformed to where it's more of a carnival type event. And I don't know, I'm just more a fan of the prestigious event than I am of the carnival type event. Despite what that means. I mean, I also think that bowling is in a really bad place in terms of the knowledge that the people involved in it have of the game across the board. So when I see, parents putting together GoFundMe's, okay, to try and fund trips to junior gold, and I think about, the kid going to junior gold, they did a GoFundMe for all the costs involved in this, but the kid's got 2 bowling balls they're bringing with them. I mean, it's just clueless. You're just clueless. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just clueless. That's
so
the one thing I can put it. Like
the one thing I would hope the parents would get out of this is they would go there and they would look at their kid struggling, crying, complaining, and seeing what other kids and realizing like, okay, why did my kid struggle so much? And then maybe when they go back home, they then will seek out the help they need to get their kid better by seeking out sports shots, by seeking out coaching, by seeking out the right things to make their kids better. And to me, that would be what I would hope that would happen for the kids who were struggling. But I know that probably doesn't happen more than it should. But
No,
if I
they
was
go
a
back
parent,
and bowl on the easy stuff they were bowling on before and
yeah.
bowl better and say, oh, see, oh, no, I bowl over here.
Yeah, so Dawn says the kids is a good comment. The kids qualify through USBC stat tournaments. All they bowl is house. When they get there, it's not on house, and the kids are lost. You know, and I would hope that, Dawn, that those parents of those kids would get back home and they would say to whoever is in their like local center and say, my kid is averaging, I don't know, whatever, 180 in league here, and he got to junior gold and he averaged 120. Like, why is that? What was there is something that I'm missing? And that's when I would hope that there would be a learning curve, a curve for the parent. And the parent, if the kid wants to get better, would then seek out what they needed to get that kid better.
Yeah, and a lot of houses do run junior gold leagues, but my issue with those, Victor, is that a house will run, let's say, 8 leagues in a year where, you know, everybody qualify. At the end, everybody qualifies. Because if 8 people already made it and you finish in 9th, guess what? You qualified. You're now considered the number 1 person who didn't qualify, so you qualify. You know, and that's how you get to a point where the tournament has 4,000 people.
So, Victor, my question: I've never heard or never seen a junior gold league. I'm not really involved with a lot of that. Are those just junior gold leagues where they're putting out the patterns and they're just letting the kids bowl league, or is there actually some kind of instruction going on with these junior gold leagues? Because if I was a kid,
some it's just league, some there's instruction.
See, the
it probably depends on the house and depends on the particular situation.
Right.
But I just know from my own experience that if you it's a ratio, right? So say I don't know what the ratio is, but if you get X amount of kids to bowl the league, and it's just totally hypothetical, but let's say you get 30 kids to bowl the league, 3 go to junior gold. Okay.
Yeah, like Coca-Cola used to do.
If you run that enough times, right? So you run it the first time, the top 3 now go to junior gold. If you run it again with the same 30 kids, right? Well, now 6 of them are going to junior gold. If you run it again with 30 kids, well, now 9 of them are going to junior gold. You run it again, 12 of them are going. And the way that they set it up is they bowl more games per week, right? And therefore they can fit the minimum requirements of these qualifier leagues. Like every week becomes a qualifier, if that makes sense. Right? If the league is 6 weeks long, every week is a qualifier because of the number of games they bowl, the number of people that bowl it. So by the time you get to the end, 18 out of 30 kids have qualified for junior gold through that one session. And then they take a couple weeks off and they run another session.
So here's the important part of this, in my opinion, is I'm all for junior gold leagues. But I think if there's a junior gold league, and I'm talking kids, I mean, they have divisions for everything. Like you could be like under 12 or whatever. You could be young bowling junior gold. There has to be a league that has to have, it's got to be mandatory. There's got to be instruction involved. There's got to be coaching. Right. Okay. Right. Because even as an adult bowling adult sport leagues, all you see is someone who doesn't have the right coaching and the right knowledge of how to bowl in a sport. All they do is come every week. They struggle. They bowl bad. They don't know where to stand. They don't know what ball to use. They have no idea of what they're doing, which is not their fault.
Right.
And they just struggle all year. And guess what happens? They don't bowl next year. Okay. But if you get someone coaching and training and helping and teaching these kids and adults on how to get better at these type of bowling on these sport shots, and they start at 140 or 120, and they finish the league 20, 30, 40 pins better, which is not a crazy idea. If you understand how to play these sport, you're going to want to bowl next year, and you're going to want to bowl the next year after that because you see yourself getting better. The frustration is when these kids are getting thrown out there and there's no instruction, there's no correct coaching from the parents, from whoever, and they just continue to struggle, guess what's going to happen? It's like a video game. If I'm playing a video game and I'm not getting better and he keep dying and I keep losing and I don't see any improvement, I'm just going to get frustrated and I'm going to quit. So I think that's the important part.
Rob, at the same time, should the kid who's finishing 10th in that league that you're talking about, should the kid who's finishing 10th get an invite to Junior Gold?
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely not. No.
The parents are spending this kind of money, taking a trip to Green Bay, Wisconsin for almost 2 weeks to bowl this event. And no, you'd be better off, like you said, putting the money into practicing and coaching and maybe some equipment or whatever.
It's the parents' fault.
Giving you,
parents should understand that.
It's not though, because the parents don't know any better, Rob. That's
right.
what I'm trying to tell you. It's the bowling community. It's the USBC, really, in my eyes, that's selling them a false bill of goods. I keep seeing parents post about this tournament and use this phrase. And I saw it on several GoFundMes that I looked at for Junior Gold. It's the best junior bowlers in the nation. It's the best teenage bowlers in the nation. It's the best teenage. It's a competition for the best junior bowlers in the nation. Now listen, are some of the best junior bowlers in the nation there at this competition? Yes. But here's how bad it's gotten. Some of the best junior bowlers in the nation skip this event. They don't even bowl it because it's such a circus. Okay?
I don't blame them.
So I don't blame them either. So it's not really a tournament of the best junior bowlers in the nation. It's really a tournament of the best junior bowlers who bowl enough.
Yeah, see, Victor, sorry, I'm going to pull Victor's comment. Parents know very little when it comes to anything outside of house or shot league. Look, I'm not a parent. I don't deal with what Big Mike has dealt with his whole life coaching, right? I don't deal with a lot of the parents, but I know that a lot of these parents are so invested in what their kids are doing. They're paying for Junior Gold. They're going to every tournament. Like my parents personally, they weren't competitive bowlers. They bowled their regular league, but they knew that they were incapable of teaching me what I needed to learn themselves. So I was fortunate enough where I was able to go get that instruction somewhere else from people who knew what they were doing. And that's where I'm trying to say is the parents, if you don't know, if my kid decided one day, if I had a kid and they were going to be a professional, chess player, right? And I wanted, and I know nothing about chess. I know the basic rules of it. I would go get them instructions or proper coaching if I had the financial capabilities of doing that. Obviously, these kids are going to JOG for 2 weeks. They're spending the money. So they do have some financial capability of doing that, right, Mike? Unless you're getting a GoFundMe, which is absolutely insane. But
crazy.
Regardless, like if you have the capability financially to go make this trip for Junior Gold for 2 weeks, what you're trying to say, and I agree 100%, that you should know that, you know what? Maybe I should take that time and money and get my kid like to not finish 10 out of 10 at his Junior Gold league, right? Maybe we should wait until you're in the top 3 before we actually like do something like that. That's
and again,
all.
Like I said, I mean, my big beef with it is just that, it used to be a very prestigious tournament, and I just don't feel like that's the case anymore because they've, opened it up so large that it's kind of become, the carnival that I used the word before. And it's fine if you want to have an event like this, but I just don't think an event like this should be deciding who's on Junior Team USA and who's getting that sort of recognition or that kind of opportunity. I think that events like that should be somewhat more exclusive. But again, I guess if this is what you're into, then more power to you.
Gotcha.
All right, that was the longest worst of the week I think I've ever done.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it was some good topics, and I think we talked about some stuff that hopefully some parents out there could get some helpful advice. All right, Mike, I'm going to share my worst of the week here. My worst of
this is an interesting. I just want to put this question out there. Mike in the chat says, I wonder how many people would go to Junior Gold if it simply had a fixed price entry instead of qualifiers. It's a great question. It's a great question. Like, if they just promoted it as a tournament and said, here's what you pay to get in this tournament. There's no qualifier. There's no, oh, you have to do this to get in, right? How many people would actually sign up to go? I don't think it would be that many. You know, I really don't think it would be that many. I think where the USBC saw their niche is that they realize that convincing people that they have accomplished something by qualifying pushes people to enter, right? Pushes people to enter. So, if they didn't sell that aspect of it, I don't think they would get as many people there. But okay, go ahead. Sorry, Rob.
No, you're fine. So my worst of the week is coming from where is this coming from? Let me look here. The Storm Roto Grip and bowling balls for sale. You know, every once in a while you get a really good bowling ball for sale that might pop in. This gentleman is selling Austin Aud their Supernova for $250. And there's a very important note here. Let me zoom in for people. Let's zoom in here. Note the Supernova comes with a one-of-a-kind crack. A sign the bowling gods give it. He named it Hercules. Let me zoom in on the Supernova for everybody. There is a crack, Mike, all around this bowling ball, and this gentleman is really online trying to rope in someone for $250. A cracked Supernova with the note, it's a one-of-a-kind crack from the bowling gods, was the note. So my worst of the week is quick, but it is definitely a good one. So that was sent to me. I appreciate it. I don't want to give the name unless I get permission to the person who sends it to me. But yeah, there's too many crack jokes. Mike Worm says crack kills, crack of the morning to you. Anyway, all right, Mike. I think we're good with our worst of the week here. Let's do it.
All right, Rob, final thoughts?
I saw this year, Mike, was the second annual nude bowling tournament in Pittsburgh. And I know we got tagged the first year it went down. So, you know, we do the show and every year. Glad to see the nude bowling alliance or whatever you call it, right? Was very successful in their first annual event, and they ran a tournament for the second year where everybody has to bowl nude, and it is specifically marketed to not be any kind of like sex tournament, right, or anything like crazy going on like there. It's just people bowling nude, okay? And my non-bowling friends sent me this actually today and was just like, yo, like, you should talk about this on your show. And I'm like, well, we already talked about it last year. And my response was, I can't imagine a lot of attractive like women showing up and bowling this nude tournament. And I was in a group chat and everyone was laughing. They were like, yeah, you should say that on the show. So I am. But hey, you know, different strokes for different folks. I guess people like to bowl nude. Cool event. Hopefully it's a fundraiser for some charity. I don't know. I don't have the details in front of me, but
do you have to wear shoes when you bowl nude?
Absolutely. It's part of the I don't know. Yeah, you would think so. You gonna bowl barefoot?
Okay.
Especially on those bolero approaches, stepping on glass and all kinds of crap that's on those approaches. Who knows?
My final thought, again, related to Junior Gold here. But this is actually something that I'll agree with the Junior Gold crowd on. I've read on the Junior Gold Facebook nonsense page that Bolero is not allowing kids to bring in outside bottles of water.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So what are they selling bottled water for? Was anybody, did they,
$4, I think.
so there's, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Is there a water fountain?
They somebody said that there's a pitcher with 10-ounce cups.
Those little
people are like, then like you have to walk all over to go get water, and you have to leave the bowlers area. And I mean, it's just, they're such a bad company, bro. It's such a bad thing for bowling in general that they are, the dominant force in our sport, in this industry, I would say.
Mike says they did the same thing in Detroit. I mean,
yeah, I remember. I just saw a post about it earlier today, and I thought, oh yeah, that's par for the course at this point.
Like, bothers me though. It bothers me that, like, I mean, I guess as a business, I could kind of understand if they were selling it for like $1 bottled water. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, I mean, how much does it really cost them to purchase bottled water? Think about, you get it at Costco for a consumer, you get 24 for like $3 or something, right? So you think about how much they're making on 24 bottles of water. If they were even to buy it from Costco, right? You do the quick math. What's 24 times 4, right? Like, it's just crazy how much money they're making. Like $96 for a case of bottled water that cost them probably under $3. They're literally profiting almost $95 a case of bottled water. And David Tolson asked what the temperature in the bowling center is. I can't imagine if there's that many kids and parents in one bowling center in the middle of the summer that any air conditioning unit could actually keep a cool bowling center. It's going to probably be warm in there, in my opinion. That's just the nature of it when you're bowling in a really packed house in the middle of the summer. So I can't imagine it being really, it's bad. Water is something that should be cheap and easily accessible for everybody. It's stupid. Bolero should be, I don't know. It's terrible, stupid.
All right, that's it. We're going to end it there. We appreciate everybody joining us. We'll likely be back next week, I would think.
Yeah, people know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see
right now, it's a slow time.
See how much there is to talk about.
Yeah, congrats to Josie Barnes too for winning the PWBA show tonight. I saw the PBA 52 had a good show. I think was airing tonight. I saw P. Weber made it. There's big names too on that show. So,
yeah, Josie Barnes, she got a good gig, bro. Coaching, and then she wins all these PWBA events. It's a nice setup.
Yeah, hey,
you're coaching, you're getting paid to coach. You got a center to practice in whenever you want, and then you go out and you win tournaments on the professional level. It's good
she's
stuff.
Great. She's a great bowler. She's a great bowler.
So yes, check us out on social media. X is where we do most of our chatting. On the social media, he is Brooklyn Rob 11. I'm at the 215. Like and subscribe here. Definitely check out our little clips that go out on Facebook and YouTube. Don't be afraid to review some of the show through our clips. Rob loves when our clips get good numbers. That's why we often want to have a string pin segment. You'll be happy, Rob. They're having a string pin regional right around me in 2 weeks, I think, at the center where Paluzik has his pro shop. And yeah, if I'm free, if I'm around, I'm gonna try and swing down and watch a little bit.
When is JOG gonna be on string pins so we can check out those Facebook comments, parents?
Who knows? I mean, it's coming. It's coming.
That'll be a good time for that.
Sooner than later, I can tell you that for sure.
That'll be a good time for the JOG parent watch on social media.
True. If you want to check out some merch, go to InsideBowling.com. Content creators, sweep the rack. Use code PatchPirate for 15% off. Okay. We appreciate everybody joining us. Enjoy Junior Gold this week. I believe it starts tomorrow. So enjoy that. Everybody can check out the social media circus around that, and we will be back next week. Later, everybody.
Peace, guys.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big